again. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Anywhere you are in the world, we have our season 3 for the XO podcast from Asia CEO and CsuiteXchange. My name is Yamilette. I'm going to be your host once again. And this is our episode number 3, season 3, episode 3. And we have two wonderful speakers with us today. They are all the way from down under Australia, and they're going to tell us all about their journey, their entrepreneurial journey. They have several brands, different companies. So we want to know, how did they go through that process? So today, I'm very, very happy to welcome Aries Cheung and Anthony Harrison. They are, Aries, she is the managing director and co-founder of the Onteam Global, but there's many other companies that she also runs, like the 12-8 Technology, Pack to Earth, Safe to Share. Oh my God, I'm so excited already. And same thing for Anthony. He is the CEO and he helps alongside with Aries to grow these brands and these wonderful companies that they were just telling me backstage that their first idea, their first objective of running these companies and growing them is to make a difference. So starting with that, welcome you both. And why don't you tell us more about where this, let's say, ethos or mantra comes from?
Yeah, do you want to go first, Aries? Ladies first. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Gary, and you to invite us to join you. Yeah, so let us to introduce, maybe I just introduce myself first.
Yes.
Yeah, I think many people know me already. Asia CEO Australia. I'm the president of the Asia CEO community. Yeah, and I was born in Brunei and raised in Hong Kong, and I live in over 30 years in Australia. Yeah, my background is very diverse. And I'm a Christian by faith and mother of two wonderful boys, Vincent and Victor. Yeah, I have a several business degree, and including MBA and from UK. And I'm also is a New South Wales Justice of the Peace and a licensed real estate agent and also work financial sector. So I have done many different jobs.
Many different jobs.
That is amazing. All around that beautiful lady. It's so empowering. Yeah.
Yeah, one time Anthony asked me how many people I have worked for.
How many bosses?
Yeah, because why? Because I always mentioned that I always introduce my boss, ex-boss to him. So I always said this is my ex-boss. Sometimes I will say this is my ex-boss. It's funny. So then, so we sat down and we together we count how many jobs I have and see what's the number. What is his number? Number of boss.
And you wouldn't believe.
Do you have a number?
We do
already have a number?
28 bosses. 28. Could you imagine how many resumes she's got, or how many?
Yeah.
But that's allowed you to be diverse, as you said, Aries. You know, she's very diverse. And multi-skilled.
So what I'm doing now is my dream actually. Yeah. So I'm the funding partner and the managing director of Onteam Global and also 12-8 Technology. Yeah. So Anthony can share more about it. He is our CEO.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aries. Yeah, that's for Anthony, please.
Actually, Anthony, the name of Onteam is his brand.
Yeah.
So he can share more about it.
Why don't you tell us, did you come up with the name? And this is a thing that normally people don't talk about because we just deep dive into what's your background? How was your journey? But did you just had something connecting you to this name, or how was the process?
Yeah, well, I guess that's as Aries shared, you know, for me, I brand myself in connecting and creating. So I love to connect and I love to create. So with those two words, I guess a lot of what I do would somehow relate to those words. So the word Onteam was because we are a team. You know, in life, it's always about a team. You never can be an individual. It'd be quite boring if you're on an island by yourself. We need all different people to make the world go around, and in business is the same. You know, we are so respectful of one another. We're very respectful of our team, and that's our inner core team. And then the external team, from consultants to other people we work with, suppliers, you know, they're all important. So we're all a team. And on is a positive word. So on team. So we work on a team, and we work within each other. We work with businesses as well on their business. So we're an on team. That's where on team sort of derived from. Yeah.
And what's your story, Anthony? What's your background? Because we've already heard, and I'm very excited about Aries' story. But what is yours?
Yeah, well, I was born in the UK, but I was 4 years of age when my parents immigrated to Australia. So at 4, I became an Aussie, and I lived in the northern beaches of Sydney. As I grew up as a child, I was always fascinated by entrepreneurialism. While my friends would go out there and play, I would play as well. Occasionally played soccer and rode my bike around, but I'd also be looking at ways to make money. So collecting bottles and taking them into the recycling, or on the farm that we lived in, you know, collecting and working on the side of the road, selling things, and always trying to think of ways to make money. I enjoyed that. It was a bit of a kick for me to be able to do that. And my dad was a supermarket. He owned supermarkets and ran supermarkets in Australia. So I worked in the supermarket as well. When I was finished my education, I went in and became Apprentice of the Year 2 years running. So I was an award-winning student through Graphic Arts School in Sydney. I worked for 2 bosses, not 28. I had the 2, but not the 8 on the end. 8's a lucky number, mind you. But I just had the 2 bosses. My first boss, I worked for 7 years, and then my second boss, I also worked for 7 years. But during the second tenure with the second boss, I went to him and I said, look, why don't I, during the day, get out there and build some business for you? And he quite willingly said, yes, go for it. So I found myself during the day creating an advertising and marketing company. And at night time, I was doing more the graphic artwork and the design work on the night shift. So I sort of worked long hours, which we both still do, mind you, because we're passionate about work. It's not a job to us. We actually love what we do.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven, yeah, that's what we call ourselves.
I like that analogy.
So I started doing, I became the largest client of the company I worked for. So during the day, I'd bring in the business, and during the night, I did the work. And that led to me starting my own advertising agency. And my ad agency was going for 20 years, actually. Arnott's Biscuits, which is a large business brand in Australia, was my first client. And then I picked up a lot of local government councils. And then I worked on Nivea brand and Mars Bar and Snickers and Procter & Gamble and PricewaterhouseCoopers and Fisherman Friend, Indian Tourism, a lot of diverse different types of brands. And I attribute that to something that both Aries and I strongly believe in, and that is when you put people first, people want to deal with people they like and trust. So that's very important in life, is to build the rapport, build the relationship, build the trust. Obviously, you need to deliver, you need to do the right thing, you need to be professional, you need to be in the right price point. But, at the end of the day, people really want to deal with people they like and trust. So, so that was my advertising days. And then about 6-7 years ago, we started the Onteam brand. And then Onteam led to other development of other brands that we could share a little bit more about as we go forward.
Super. So you are also a very well-rounded individual. We love that. And I mean, most entrepreneurs might know that we can do a lot of things, but then I feel that sometimes you can get lost in so many opportunities and abilities that you may have as an entrepreneur. Would you say that being so diverse and being able to look at different options and taking those paths is something that helped you as an entrepreneur and to grow the business? Or do you just throw yourself at those and say yes? Or is there any strategy behind it?
I think, you can go first. He's very entrepreneur. Let him to continue to share.
I would not be telling the truth if it wasn't for, some, opportunities along the way that didn't quite work out. I mean, as an entrepreneur, and all entrepreneurs out there, we're very passionate about believing in our entrepreneurial activity, our innovation, our idea, our concept, our thought. We're very passionate about it. So we never really think of failure, but it's very important that we count what we need to do to achieve the result. So always for me, number one is to, again, come back to connecting, is to have the right people in your team. You can't do it on your own. So any idea, I love to surround myself with mentors and people who have done well. One of our major mentors is Peter Irvine, who started Gloria Jean's Coffee, 50% founder of Gloria Jean's Coffee. So he's a good friend, and he often visits our office here, and I see Peter at least once a week. Silvestro is someone on our team that was the CEO of Metcash, which is a large supermarket chain here. So surrounding yourself with very good people. Also surrounding yourself with people who won't always say they like what you're doing. You need to be around people that say, yes, go for it, but you also need to be around those that maybe give you advice and say, be careful here or watch this, and not to get negative about that, just to sort of be still passionate and go forward, but also listen to what they say, because there's insights in that, there's wisdom in that, in terms of what they might say. And for us here, having a vision. So for Aries and I, if it aligns with our vision, so our visions are always about life and light, like helping people in life and being light to the world, being light that people are attracted to, light rather than darkness. So be the light and help people in their life. So if you think about our immigration business, that's helping people in life. It's helping people relocate to Australia. And you might like to share a bit more about that, Aries, how much you enjoy that part of business.
We really like to helping people. This is what our company mission, our spirit. Actually, like in the company, I always like the mother of the company. I look after people, look after the employee and also the staff and also the client. So they just want to come to me and let me to get everything done for them. This is my role. Because of my background, I can connect to with world-class professional, and particularly from the hometown Hong Kong, and Hong Kong, and connect them with Australia opportunities. So this is what we can help, because we are Australia chapter. So we know, we work together with Gary, and then
so life and lifestyle, helping people relocate, something that we when we have a successful visa granted, our whole company celebrate. We shout the team and dinner out with their partners, and we celebrate all the time, because it's life-changing. It is life-changing. And some of our clients, they're such incredible people, and they're going the journey with us. And sometimes it's relatively quick, but most of the time, it takes 2 to 3 to maybe 5 years journey with these people. So when you finally get that decision that's positive, woo, it's party time, and we're so happy. Again, why? Because that comes back to our value of life and light. We want to help people, and and so with our other brands like 12-8 Technology, we have this packaging that takes plastic and makes plastic to be plastic no more. And in the world today, there's a real issue, isn't there, Aries, with plastic pollution. All countries of the world are worried about plastic. And to be able to represent a breakthrough technology that leaves no microplastic, that will decompose in natural light, or in the absence of light, in just thermal heat generated from the soil. We actually have this slogan that's saying that we can be plastic in the beginning of life, plastic, but we end of life not as a plastic anymore. And that's something that we're excited, because it can help the environment.
This is a 12-8 Technology business.
I'd like to go into details about that one, obviously, and Pack to Earth and Safe to Share. But before we do that, because we're talking about your vision of you're consulting people with passion and purpose, quoting you from what you have on your website. And Aries was just mentioning that because, and we were making a joke about how many bosses she's worked for, But because you have worked with so many people and so many teams, and I'm sure many different type of individuals, this has made you very able to have so many layers and able to see these layers in people too. Would you say that that is a superpower of yours when it comes to finding the teams and the mentors? Because as Anthony, you were saying that people is first, but a lot of us were always thinking, where do we find these people? How do we connect with them? How do I get the best mentor? How do I build the best team? So what would be, let's start with Aries, your advice to build and create the superpower team?
Yeah, and I think Anthony and I, as a, we just help each other. So we, just for Anthony, he is is a pizza oriented, and whereas I am much more practical, put in number, spreadsheet, and mark and such. But because we are so different, so we balance each other out, and we're able to pick up the slack where the other drop in and work as the two parts of the same puzzle.
Yeah.
So I think, being able to use our differences to our advantage has made our company successfully. Successful. Yeah. So maybe Anthony can share more.
Yeah, no, I think for sure, like how do you get the right people and how do you find the right connections and the right network? That really comes down to, I guess, just intuitively knowing who somebody is. And, for Aries and I, as she said, like we really work so well together because the core of who we are is the same. We both have the same Christian faith. We both want to help people. We both love to celebrate when people have success. We're not greed driven or envy or jealousy or, we're not prideful. We were very humble. Yet we're confident and we're bold and we're tenacious. We have all those right attributes, but we balance it, make sure that, we're always doing it for the right purpose and the right reason. And I think like attracts like. I think, you sort of radiate out, again, coming back to life and light. If we're light, then we're going to draw the right people to us. Yeah. And, we quite often check with each other when we meet somebody. Most of the time, Aries is a little bit more cautious than I am. I'm like I'm like, hey, come in, and Aries like, and calm down, and and then we discuss it, and then together, we find out who are, the right people to have on our bus and the right people to connect with, because, as we've said, connecting is such an important part of life. I think sometimes it's undervalued, but Gary and yourself and all those part of the Asia CEO community, you value the importance of bringing people together. That's what this podcast is about, bringing us into the homes and businesses of other people to try and help as best we can, in their journey, encourage them in their journey.
Correct. Yeah, it's all about balance. I love what you said, that even if you are a solopreneur, it doesn't mean that you cannot ask for feedback or someone else's point of view, because indeed we grow with a team and together connecting, it's better. Why don't we go back to 12.8 technology, back to earth and safe to share? Please let us know more about this wonderful brands, because myself, I read about it, the nanotechnology behind what you're doing. And you said that in the starting of your entrepreneurial journey, you were working in the supermarket, Anthony. Is this a thing that impacted you to try to give back to the environment? Or how did it came to life? Because Aries, here in Hong Kong, there's so many waste. I mean, there's all these boxes for the deliveries and stuff. So I'm sure that when you were working in the supermarket, you saw some things that just ignited that idea of yours to give back to earth. So why don't you both of you, tell me more about this wonderful brands?
I'll start off.
Anthony can share your whole day. He loves brand very much.
I do, because it makes an impact. I think, Yeah, thank you. Going back about the supermarket, you know, like I was fortunate that there's a fly buzzing around. That's Australia for you. I was fortunate in my dad having not a big supermarket, but I learned a lot from working as a youngster in that supermarket, and the importance of engaging with people and connecting, and being around packaging, obviously in a supermarket world. When I had my advertising agency, again, I had the packaging account for SC Johnson and for IGA supermarkets and Sanitarian Foods. We did some packaging. So big brands we did packaging for. And funnily enough, we also did a lot of the rollout of the waste campaigns for Australia. So we had 30 local government in Australia. There's local government and then the state government and then federal. So we did a lot of campaigns on waste, and I got celebrities involved, like cricketers in Australia and boxing champions and jockeys and, you know, all sorts of high profile people to help talk about the importance of recycling and you know, taking care of our waste and minimizing waste and composting and all this sort of thing. That's way back when. That was way back in like year 2000, you know, going back 20 odd years ago now. And now we come full circle. Then we come to 12/8 technology, and it was really through Aries, and again back to connecting, so through Aries and her ability to connect, she met a person from Hong Kong, and from that relationship, a friend who had the packaging company in Hong Kong, and, you know, 20 years experience and copious amounts of plastic waste. Their largest clients in Hong Kong was like 7-Eleven and Starbucks and a lot of supermarkets and KFC. And so they were doing a lot of plastic packaging and contributing to the problem of plastic waste. So those two, one in particular person was the innovator of the idea, along with a technology institute in Hong Kong. And they developed the packaging expert alongside the laboratory, the PhDs, this technology, and it is incredible. You know, like, we've got all the evidence. We don't greenwash. It's got all the evidence behind it, and it actually takes thick, rigid plastic, and it will allow that to decompose in natural elements. So no longer needing an industrial composting. It just naturally will decompose. And this takes care of a lot of issues. And in your part of the world, the Hong Kong and China part of the world, you know, there's so many people looking to, you know, be involved in Pack to Earth and the technology. It's actually called Raw's Tech, and that's the actual name of the technology, Raw's Tech. Okay. Yeah, and we're honoured to take it to the Western world. And so, we're talking to big brands.
Exclusive distributor.
So again, it really fits beautifully with our, you know, life and light again, you know, those two words of helping life. So our future generations, I've got 5 children and 3 grandchildren. So, you know,
you look so young.
Oh, thank you. It's the filter. You know, I don't want, you know, the children's generation to come, you know, the children's children having to dig up our plastic, you know, and then the destruction on the environment, the oceans, and it's not good. So again, it comes back to helping life, future life, and being light. So providing a solution to a big problem.
Aries, anything else you want to add?
For the traffic technology, I really, you know, appreciate what Anthony, he had done for this. We, you know, from the start, because this is very new technology, so it's still, you know, developed. So we already have this business more than 2 years. And this year is a very important year and have another breakthrough. So we are very, very busy in this year, and this year is 2022, and 22 is Anthony's birthday number. So
and today is the 2202.
That's why.
That's why we just know so many people are going to watch this podcast and go, oh, I like those two.
That's very special.
This is a reason.
But on Aries side, you know,
Yeah.
Aries really takes care of the all the admin and all the financial side of the business and contractual, working with our legal consultants, etc., etc. But also Aries takes care of all our Hong Kong clients. Obviously, Cantonese Mandarin speaking. I can't speak much of that language at all.
And also we have another business, Onteam Global, is helping helping immigration and education business. I'm working more in that business.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, Aries, because Anthony's been saying that it's all about connecting, and you also are the one with all of your connections that makes this happen. So with the Onteam, that you have all these different verticals you mentioned, you have the immigration, I read trademark registration, you have the business investment, recruitment. So tell us more about this part of the company. How does this connect with all of this connectivity and the development of your other brands?
Onteam, actually, we also have the one subsidiary company called Topbox, and that is immigration and education. And Onteam, we have many different type of brand, just like Virtual Chai. Maybe you can show the can you see my background? That's Virtual Chai.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
That is very famous now. This also is a Anthony connection. We recently we signed up for the IGA. That is the supermarket in Australia. Very exciting, and this is very healthy herb.
It's good for you.
Tea.
So we can on the Onteam side of it.
This also this is one of the Onteam global brand, and also we got the Gold Team fish
fashion brand coming along.
Oh wow.
We got the Fubi.
But predominantly Onteam has been about helping
the professional Hong Kong professional people to come. And recently, if you heard about the Australian government to give the priority for the Hong Kong people, that for the Hong Kong stream, that included 482 visa and a 485 visa. So actually every day I'm so busy, many inquiry from them. And we did Onteam Global because we have very strong Australia connection from Anthony's side, he shared very many to you, and many employer willing to give many job for us. Looking for the right people to fill in the position. So we did have some marketing work, because we have many sales agent in Hong Kong.
So how do people connect with you? Like if I want to go and immigrate to Australia, more or less, what's the process? We just connect via email and then you let us know what needs to be done, or what?
WhatsApp.
Oh, perfect.
I can case by case and then do the assessment for because we have a team a professional team to helping. We also have an in-house registered migration agent. We can set up one-to-one free assessment.
There you go, members.
And I also have a regular weekly seminar to share the information, the process, how to apply for the immigration. Actually, we can help all type of visa, and we also can provide the one-to-one to meet our very experienced immigration lawyer to have the one-to-one for the very special case. Some people maybe want to know to get the advice, professional advice before they apply. Then we can set up this all the meeting first. This is what we can do, and we have, and actually we look after the client. Like every client, nearly few years. So we build very good relationship with the client. And because this is very important for every family, very important step they, from one country to move to another country.
I think what sets us apart in the Onteam Global, it comes again back to our desire to help people in life. And that's, I think when you meet Aries, I mean, Aries meets the Hong Kong clients or through our sales team first, and gets to know them, and they get to see and know her sincerity, her true heart. And she really, she's amazing, honestly. She really cares for people. And that really comes out, so that's something you really taught me. I mean, I've always put people first, but Aries, she'd say, Ed, you need to put yourself in their position. It's a big decision. They're worried about, this, that, and the other. And so, we need to ensure that they have the peace of mind to go ahead. And from when Aries first meets them and they sense your genuine spirit, your genuine spirit to help. And when I meet the client, and because of my ability to connect and through our Christian circle, so we're very, our faith allows us to meet really good people. I mean, there's people all around the world in different faiths, but it enables us to meet the right people to help our clients on that pathway forward, because it is a long journey, and you want people to really want that job. They're really looking for that employer to come across, or employee to come across.
We wish all the best for them. I always, in this immigration business, I always thinking, it's not easy for them, to make the decision from country to Australia. So that we do our best to, introduce. Share them more about, because I have been here 32 years already, so I know everything. Because my little one is grown up in here and was born in here, so I can share everything there.
As you're saying, it's just a life-changing decision, and the fact that you take them almost by the hand. It's just a one-stop service with the heart and with that light in that people coming first, which is amazing that you have everything in-house and you see the support. It's not that you're going to go outside and contact another contractor. You have it all. And as I was saying, members, if you're listening to a podcast, you know who to contact if you're interested in expanding your business or going to Australia. One of my last questions is going to be, since you have so many successful brands within the company and companies and all these ideas that are coming up, you're talking about your tea and the fashion line. They are, some people, some entrepreneurs may think, but it's not connected to the origins of my brand. How do I make sure that people don't get confused? Or how do I make sure that all of those brands within the umbrella of the company are also successful? Are there any tricks or tips to our entrepreneurs that also want to diversify?
For me, it's important that everything you do, has the right vision and mission and reason for being. We're a believer that, all of us in life are predestined, and we've all been got an assignment to do. And so, as long as it all lines up, and then it's about building again the right teams for individual business sector. But the team in Ritual Chai is different to the team in our immigration, is different to the team, on the packaging. But there's crossover as well. So there's some people that work in the operational side across multiple businesses, but it's all about the different teams. And I guess from Aries and I point of view, quite often Aries, you should say this to me and I to her, that we are apostles in life. We're like pioneers. We birth things, we start things. And a lot of time people go, you've got so many different balls in the air, or what you said today, you're juggling many plates. Many plates are spinning.
Praise spinning.
But the thing is, when we see ourselves as those pioneers to start things, to then bring in people that employs Australians, brings people from overseas and gives them opportunities to relocate to Australia, or investment opportunities from Hong Kong, or branch back to Hong Kong, or the rest of the world. Everything we do is creating life, opportunities for life, for employment, and opportunities to represent light, and do the right thing, again, by the environment, by the health with our ritual chai, by helping people immigrate through the immigration platform, by helping people connect with the right investment opportunities through our Onteam Wealth division that we've started recently. You know, I mean, I think I mentioned before, I shared a little funny story. I mean, maybe this will help your viewers. You know, when I had my advertising agency, I had a young lady called Gabby. She was very astute. You know, everything was detailed. You know, a little bit like Aries, incredibly brilliant at detail. We went to see the Nivea brand manager. They had $500,000 to spend on a campaign for Nivea Sun, you know, the sun cream in the Australian market. And we had that account. So, you know, we were getting a brief. After we came back from receiving the brief, Gabby, who was, you know, very wanting to please myself, and said, "Now, Anthony, this is all the details that I got from the meeting." And I said, "That's fantastic, Gabby. Did you get anything else?" And she says, "No. Did I miss something? Did I miss something?" I said, No. You got all the details. Did you pick up anything else from the face-to-face meeting?" She says, No, I didn't. What have I missed? I said, "Did you hear her say that she was about to go on a trip to the Central Australia, to Ayers Rock, Uluru it's called now, the Central Australia. And did you hear her say, when I asked the question, what's something that you want to do in life?" And she said, "I'd love the courage to go to a restaurant by myself and not feel funny or strange by, you know, sitting in a restaurant by herself." So I said to Gabby, "Now I want you to go get one of those hats with the corks in it to stop the flies getting at you. And I want you to go send a dinner for one at the Sydney's top restaurant. And you send that to her." And she said, "Really?" I said, "Just do that." So Gabby did that. And because of that gesture of, again, people and connecting and thinking of, you know, what they said beyond, the heart, that client left Nivea and went to another big company and gave us all that work, all because of our, you know, the heart to make a difference, to bring a smile, to, you know, let her be surprised by our generosity in a way. And so, I think that's important. You know, no matter what you do, it always needs people. So you do the right thing by people, and they do the right thing by you. And
use the heart is very important.
So
I always said, share that is like not just only thinking ourselves, how much we earn, you know, like, so, but always thinking what they want, you know, what really help them. So this is what we really, you know, so the work is for us is that we just want to serve for the people. Helping people, serve people is our is the company spirit.
I love that.
Be a service.
Be a servant,
Be at service. And it's so good. And I do have this philosophy of having radical empathy. So instead of just having the empathy, you also got that extra step of practicing in it. And this is exactly what you did in your example, that you went one step ahead, being empathetic, listening to what she was saying, more so than just the superficial level of business, and connecting in a personalized way. That's wonderful. My last question, we're running out of time. I know we can stay here for a long time. Really, really enjoying our conversation, and hopefully also our viewers or our listeners too. What would be your advice to our entrepreneurs if you were just to give them one or two pointers on what's coming next with the global situation, with uncertainty? What should one as an entrepreneur should think or be focusing on? What could be your top hacks for our listeners?
Do you want me to go first, or you go first?
You can make first. You like to talk.
I think it's look,
you like to share more.
Well, we are living in very unique days, let's put it that way. You know, it's sad what's gone on over the last couple of years in all the world. So we're all in the same position. So I think, you know, again, having a faith and a belief, you know, remaining positive. We often say, you know, the words that you speak. So, you know, make sure you're always remaining and speaking the right words, you know, and renewing the mind. You know, there's a lot of fear at the moment in the world, a lot of fear. And that's sad, because when fear is activated, faith is contaminated. So you want to, you know, not let fear really get in, and allow the faith and belief in yourself. You know, I'd always encourage people to to believe in themselves. You know, as you get later on in life, you know, when you talk to people at their senior level or their latter years, they often say, if only they took more risk, if only they didn't worry, if only they didn't have insecurity or be too concerned, you know, if only they stepped out and did that dream, like Aries shared. She's living her dream at the moment. And that's wonderful for me to be her partner in business, to be able to hear that. Yeah, so it's a hard, challenging time, but I think you just have to believe and trust and surround yourself with good people and step back sometimes and just have a look at the opportunities, because in all situations, opportunities do arise.
I can share something.
Yeah, please.
Share something is, we always appreciate our senior advisor, Peter Elroy, that mentioned the Gorgeous coffee. And Peter always said, one word is that, go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And he often shares a story when he had the Gloria Jean's coffee and he had to supply coffee, and then they had a fire. And the fire engulfed, and they had no coffee to supply. But that caused him to step back, and then he formed a relationship with other coffee roasters around and they're able to fulfill and to come out of the situation. So, yeah, always looking at the bright side, looking at the light, not the dark. Yeah.
Don't be afraid of also failure, because that's where we learn. And I'm leaving with 3 words, because it's our 3rd episode in season 3. I love it. Connect, life, and light.
You got it. You got it. That's wonderful. Yeah, so good.
Thank you very much for being here with us. Hopefully we can see you soon face to face, have more conversations, but please stay connected. And everybody, if you want to connect with Anthony or Aries, you know who is the man, Gary from Asia CEO community. And we will have more speakers. We have more guests coming up in our season 3 of the CXO podcast with you. So thank you once again. See you next time. Take care.